Welcome back to the Sound for More channel, and welcome back to another tutorial on Groove Rider 2. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe, like, comment, because that helps with the channel going on and also bringing more videos, tutorials, giveaways, etc., etc. Thank you again. So let's focus today on synth settings, which can also be applied to simpler settings, which are common settings, which I have not covered yet. So first of all, let's create a new pattern like so. We have done that many times before, so I'm not going to reference it again, how to do that. And then next, as you can see, we have a layer 1 with a synth, right? So if we click on edit, you will see this cog bar here, which is for your synth settings. Okay, so at the moment we have a synth playing. Okay, and we might want to slightly adjust the output like so. Okay, perfect. So if you click on the cogs here, you go inside the synth settings. So inside here, what you can do micro scale tuning, which is really good. So you can see that's an A. I can move it up. So I can adjust it, as you can see, up to 100 cents. Or I can go the opposite direction. Now, if you double click, nothing happens, so you have to bring it back to 0 yourself manually. Hopefully that will be added in the future. Next, what you can do is adjust the pitch. 1 octave, 12 semitones. Up to 24 semitones, therefore 2 octave. And you can do the same in the opposite direction. Okay, perfect. Next, you can adjust your band range, okay, which is really useful, okay. So you can say, okay, let's increase it up to 24. Okay, depending on your taste, of course. Now, then next you can do scale tuning overall. So let's try. So let's close this part of the keyboard. Normal octave. Let's do scale tuning down 0 cent. So you can see that we have neutralized it, that 4 cent. So you can do your scale tuning up to plus 100, 200 cents actually, and from 0 to 200 cents, okay? Double click, it will reset it right in the middle. Next, this is an overlooked parameter, polyphony. So at the moment, if you move it, is 8. You can go down to 1, and this is how you make it monophonic. Right? And of course, you can go up to 16, which is really great. Not anymore 8th void polyphony, but 16. Next here, you have a setting for velocity to amplitude. Okay, so at the moment, if you click at the bottom, you have high velocity here on the keys. As you move up, it decreases on velocity. Now, if I set these down to 0, velocity to amplitude, it doesn't matter where I click, the velocity will be a constant, right? And remember, you have a default setting on the part for the default velocity. Now, I could make it up to 8, so. Okay, so up to your choice. Next, what I can do is also redirect velocity to filter as well, so. So let's say that I remove the velocity to amplitude, and I set this to maximum. It's acting like on the cutoff, right? See, as I click, it will change the value of the cutoff, okay? So that is useful. Here we have a dial, which is not used at the moment, but I'll come back to it, and then we have the overall volume. Okay, and those are the synth settings. Now let's remove, click and hold here on layer 1, and let's delete that layer. Click and hold on the plus sign, and let's add a sampler. You still have here a cogs, right? Click on it, but this time instead of saying synth settings, it will say sampler settings. They are exactly the same with the exception of this dial here, which is now active, which is velocity to sample position. As you click and move here, it will say velocity to sample position. Now you need to load, of course, a sample. Click load. I've already created one. There it is. Edit. Let's normalize it as well. Okay, save it. Fine. Okay. Now let's go to the settings. Now we can change the position of the velocity. See, I'm clicking down here, you don't hear it, okay, of course. You can see it's changing position from where it starts based on how much velocity. Very little velocity is at the beginning of the sample. As I go up or down through the keys, I move the position to the right of the sample, okay? And then, of course, that changes the amplitude in that case of the sample, and it changes where the sound that is produced. But, of course, in this case, it's just a piano note which will decay, which decays straight away. But imagine to have a full samples, right? So, like, for example, this bit here, okay? And so, depending on the velocity that you set, you can change the position on the sampler, which is really, really great. Now, let's remove this layer and let's add a wavetable. Now, again, similar thing, you need to load something, right? And actually, probably is easier if I go to bank A here and I choose a wavetable, and then I bring something in, like, for example, that organ, okay? Now I can change the position, the wavetable position here, which is the same dial here. Or what I can do now, I can go to the wavetable settings, is called now, and I have velocity to wavetable position, right, which is great. So again, so lower velocity, higher velocity. Velocity, you can see, is moving through the wavetable. So that is really how it works. And again, it works also in other cases. For example, if you load a sound font, like so, load a bank, which we already have, and then load the grand piano, then you have here a sampler setting, because it's actually using a sampler setting, and then you have the same velocity to sample position. Now, if you bring something else in, of course, like for example, the pure acid base, you don't have any additional settings here, okay, because they are here, okay, and well, mostly are here, so it works differently. Then let's remove that part. If you bring in poison as well, you don't have those there. Let's remove that, and then if we bring in, for example, drum rack, again, you don't have the settings there, works very differently, right? And then if we bring in a pure acid drum, it will ask you to change. Of course, you don't have the settings there, but you can still adjust the visuals there as well. Clear the part there. Okay, and then of course, next you can bring in also an AUV3 layer. So let's say we bring in ISM. Again, you don't have those settings here because those settings are inside here, in this case, for your AUV frame. Okay, so I hope you found the tutorial useful. Now you know how to change the synth, sampler, wavetable, settings. You know how to make it monophonic, polyphonic. You can adjust individual volume. You can adjust how the velocity impact the amplitude, the filter. You can adjust the pitch, the bend range, the scale tuning. You can do micro scale tuning, fantastic. And then you can also even change based on velocity, either the sample position or for example, the wavetable position, depending on what you're using, as I just demonstrated a moment ago, like in this case, a organ, right? So here you have the wavetable position, of course, if you loaded the wavetable. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.